Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Teatime with Matt's Election Night 2024. Oh, how exciting. Wow. I am so pumped and full of energy that I forgot to update the polling data image, which will shortly earn me a failure jingle, but not right now because I don't want to ruin the sound bed. I'll do it during our first couple of songs. How are we all doing tonight? Who have we got in the chat room? Little Miss Tara Bear is here. Hello. The DTS Workshops is here. Hello to you. Super Duper Monkey Ball Banana Blast Crazy Roll is here. East Coast Steam is here. Hello to both of you. Ace of Riddles is here. Me Tina is here. HMS Hood is here. The Tired Scott is here. Welcome, everybody. Great to see you. Coming up tonight, it's a show of two halves, so we're now in the first half. It's not really halves, to be honest, but go with it. Part one is going to be a usual Tea Time with Matt show. So coming up, we've got all of our usual features. We've got alternative facts, common sense advice, election news update, a tea time weather update, and I will be reviewing a classic novel as well. I promise not to go on too long. I know last time I did that, it went on for absolutely ages, so I apologise for that. Hello to you, Gary Snedden, nice to see you. We'll also be taking a look at the polling data once I've got the right image saved, and I suck at this. So we'll be doing that, and we'll also be having a look at all of the parties that are running in the general election. And we'll be taking a look at some of the local campaign literature that I've received at my house. So all of that to come. Look, I've got a wad of paper. This very professional. I can shuffle the paper during the news and look entirely professional. Gosh, I'm blinking a lot. Goodness me. Anyway, welcome all of you. And of course, the reason we're all here tonight, it is of course the 2024 general election. It's been 5 years since the last one, and it's a big one. We are probably going to see a political sea change tonight. Based on the polling data I've seen, it's quite exciting. So for the first part of the show, we will be here doing the normal stuff. And then when the exit poll comes out at 10, we're going to do a little bit of analysis on that. I'm then going to take a break. And then you will come back for part two, and we're going to go through the night. It's going to be a more loose, a kind of improvised show. I haven't got any features planned for it apart from a few sort of things we can do while we get the results in, and we will do that all the way through until someone officially declares who the winner is. I've got the BBC loaded on the tablet, so we're going to dip into that when the exit polls come out, and we'll be dipping into that throughout the night to get the latest updates, and we'll be discussing some things. We'll be looking at some of the constituencies. There's a few I want to keep an eye on specifically, and we'll talk more about that later. And yes, very exciting. I look kind of like a news anchor. Thank you very much. Yeah. Hard to imagine. How was 2019 5 years ago? It doesn't feel it, does it? I remember the 1997 Labour landslide. Matt doesn't, as he's 12. Yeah, I was a little young to understand what was going on there. But anyway, we're going to have a great show tonight. Lots planned, lots coming up. I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you won't judge me too harshly based on some of the things I'm going to say tonight. But yes, welcome. Going to be an amazing night. I hope you, as many of you will stick with me as possible. It would be lovely to see you all. At least stay through for some of the night, because I think this is an important event. This we're making history tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to see what is to come, and hopefully we're going to be kissing goodbye to the current Tory government and bringing in something new. But of course, I'm sorry, I had a momentary slip there. It won't happen again, because of course here on Tea Time with Matt, as a professional broadcaster, we do have a commitment to impartiality, and I would like to express that with our first song. Here we go.
Stuff the Tories, 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 'cause we've had enough of them stuffing us. They stuffed up the economy, stuffed up the NHS, mess. They dump stuff in the ocean, now we're swimming in our mess. They stuffed up public services, they stuffed us through and through. It's time to stand up for ourselves and say, stuff you! Stuff the Tories, stuff the Tories. Stuff the Tories, stuff the Tories. Stuff the Tories, stuff the Tories. 'Cause we've had enough of them stuffing us. The rich are getting richer, their cronies run the press. We pay more tax than ever, but we get a whole lot less. The poor are getting poorer, the workers have to strike, while this unelected government stuff anyone they like. So, stuff the Tories, stuff the Tories. Stuff the Tories, stuff the Tories. Stuff the Tories, stuff the Tories. 'Cause we've had enough of them stuffing us.
Dunkers of the world, unite! It's Tea Time with Matt. So as I say, we are making a commitment to impartiality on the show this evening. I hope you... Yeah, we're not that impartial, actually, let's be honest. Anyway, I am owed one of these bad boys, so let's get that out of the way.
Fail.
I'm a failure.
Indeed. Right. We did have polling data loaded and ready to go, but it doesn't appear to be working properly just at the moment. We're gonna have a quick fiddle with it just to see if I can push it live. Okay, I can push it live, but without the watermark in the corner. So that's what we're going to have to do. Let's take a look at the latest polling data. This is the data that was available on the BBC News website from yesterday, because of course they haven't done any polling data releases today because they're not allowed to. So this is from yesterday, and let's be honest here. The opinion polls are never quite as accurate. The important one is the exit poll at 10 o'clock, because this is asking, if there were a general election tomorrow, who would you vote for? The exit poll is they go to the polling stations and they ask, who have you voted for? So that gives you a more accurate picture, generally speaking. Not always, but generally. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the polling data, which is quite interesting. So at the moment, we are predicting a Labour win with a majority of 90. They currently have 39% of the vote. The Conservatives have 21% of the vote. The Liberal Democrats have 11%. Reform UK Party Limited have 17%. The Green Party have 7%. The SNP have 3%. Plaid Cymru have 1%. We have not listed any other parties in this polling data because none were available in the data that I looked at. So that's where things stand. That could be completely wrong. In all likelihood, it probably will be. Once we get the exit polls later, we'll have a proper look at them and we'll analyse, and we'll hopefully have a good idea of who's forming the next government, by how many seats they will have a majority, and to just get a general picture of what to expect from the rest of the night. So, right, song request selected, either the Alice Cooper or Bruce Dickinson version. I will have a look for that. I thought tea time was usually after lunchtime. It is. You think Reform will jump the Tories, or Tories finish second? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Anyway, right, let's play another song, which is an appropriate one. It's Willie Nelson and Vote 'Em Out. There we go.
If you don't like who's in there, vote 'em out. That's what election day is all about. The biggest gun we've got is called the ballot box. So if you don't like who's in there, vote 'em out. 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 And when they're gone, we'll sing and dance and shout. Then bring some new ones in, and we'll start that show again. And if you don't like who's in there, vote 'em out. bunch of clowns you voted in. Election day is coming round again. If you don't like it now, if it's more than you'll allow, if you don't like who's in there, vote them out. 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 And when they're gone, we'll sing and dance and shout. Bring some new ones in, and we'll start the show again. And if you don't like who's in there, vote them out. 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 That's what election day is all about. The biggest gun we've got is called the ballot box. So if you don't like who's in there, vote them out. If you don't like who's in there, we'll vote them out.
YouTube's best and only, whatever the hell this is. It's Tea Time with Matt. Yes, indeed. That was Willie Nelson there, and vote 'em out. You're listening to the Tea Time with Matt election night special. What's going on in the chat room? The Tired Scott says, I've been very cynical about this election and will continue to be so. I don't blame you. Cynical time. We're going to get to that. Tina responded to that by saying there's a very fine line between cynicism and realism. At the moment, you need an industrial strength magnifier to see it. That is very true. Question about the Dalek Party. The Dalek Party does not appear in the polling data for one very simple reason. All of our voters are very embarrassed about it, so they won't openly admit to voting for us. Past couple of days I've been optimistic. Starmer is a bit too centrist for me, but he deserves a crack at it in my opinion. Yeah, it's reasonable, I'd say. If only the Daleks were in. Yeah, I might put a Dalek candidate up next time. Who knows? We'll see. If if the copyright monsters don't shoot me, that is. This is a strawberry and cucumber tea. I did not realise I had this. Quite nice. Right. Let's hit you with some cold, hard data now, folks. So, we've been begging and pleading for a general election for what seems like forever, and it's finally here. Since the election in 2019, the political spectrum has changed considerably. And it's time for us to have a look at some of the people who want you to want them to run the country for the next 5 years or so. And to do that, we're going to need a common sense advice sound bed. I really need to get some new material, don't I? Or at least some new sound beds. Anyway, where is that sound bed anyway? Here we go. There we go. Right. Oh, yes. Right then, the parties. We'll start off with the Conservative Party and their leader, the current Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. The Don't Let the Door Hit You on the Way Out party. After 14 glorious years, the Conservative Party have squeezed all the money and power from the country that they possibly can. Most of them are ready to be chauffeured off on expenses into the sunset, with whatever shred of dignity they have left, and into lives of consultancy jobs, after-dinner speeches, and presenting gigs with GB News. And generally continuing to be utter shitweasels, leaving a crop of fresh-faced nobodies to stand in their former seats. Unfortunately for those nobodies, it does rather appear the country would rather go for a swim in the sewage-filled waters of our rivers than elect another Tory government. So they don't anticipate actually having to do anything for the next 5 years. Beyond sitting on the opposition benches and jeering every time someone in the government speaks. Unfortunately, poor Rishi Sunak, not in the monetary sense obviously, has been left holding the fort while all of his former chums sort out their retirement plans. So he has to come up with some manner of an election campaign to at least make it look like he wants to win. Rishi does have some leadership qualities, namely that, as Prime Minister, nobody thinks he's quite as bad as Liz Truss, whom he lost out to at the first 2022 Tory leadership election. Quite impressive, really, given he didn't have Sky TV as a child. and couldn't discuss episodes of The Simpsons with his classmates at his private school. Since then, Rishi has mainly been bleating on about stopping the boats with the government's shiny new Rwanda scheme, an idea previously announced by Boris Johnson. The scheme, which is supposed to be a deterrent to those planning to enter the country illegally via small boats, has cost the UK 120 million quid and has not yet sent a single person for asylum processing in Rwanda. A separate voluntary scheme, launched in April 2024, offered £3,000 to anyone whose asylum claim in the UK is rejected, in return for moving to Rwanda willingly. This scheme has been much more successful, in that exactly one person took up the offer. Elsewhere, the Tories have continued to be absolute bastards towards the disabled, the poor, the trans community, the BBC, defence lawyers, veterans, well, everybody who isn't them, basically. Not to worry though, given the timing of this election, Rishi should still be able to get his kids into the local school when he flies off to America to start a new life tomorrow. Manifesto pledges include the return of Help to Buy, tax help for the self-employed, regular flights to Rwanda, I think EasyJet already do that, cuts to welfare and civil service numbers, an end to low-quality degrees, a legal limit to migration, and net zero without new green charges. Cake, have, eat, to borrow a phrase. We'll move on, and up next we have the Labour Party and their party leader Keir Starmer, the leader of the opposition, the Here to Sort Out Your Mess party. After the grand experiment of actually trying to be properly left-wing didn't really work out, Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn resigned and went to spend more time with his cat making jam. Enter new party leader, former director of public prosecution, son of a toolmaker and a mum who worked as a nurse, Keir Starmer, a man with the superhuman ability to be really, really boring. Seriously, some of his early speeches are just so dull. Luckily, Keir's been taking evening classes in public speaking, so more recently he's come across as a somewhat enthusiastic, semi-compassionate actual human being. However, bonus points for being the person who defended King Arthur against the Tories back when he was a barrister. He defended Druid human rights at Stonehenge. Under Keir's leadership, Labour has very much returned to the position of being Diet Tory. They do have some interesting ideas about how to sort out the railways, bring down the cost of energy bills, and generally clear up the mess the Tories have left the country in. Unfortunately, the party still very much agrees with members of the Conservative Party on a number of issues, including being absolute bastards to trans people. Seriously, guys, just leave them alone! Fuck's sake! Sorry. Keep it together, Matt. Moving on. The likely outcome of this election is that the Labour Party will end up forming the next government. So they'll be the ones tasked with actually clearing up the mess that the last 14 years of Tory rule has left the country in. When Keir enters Downing Street tomorrow lunchtime, the staff will probably hand him a broom and say, "Welcome, Prime Minister. You can start by sweeping the floor." Manifesto pledges include cut NHS waiting lists by providing 40,000 more appointments each week, funded by tackling tax avoidance and closing tax loopholes. Launch a border security command to stop people smuggling gangs from arranging small boat crossings. Build 1.5 million new homes by reforming planning laws and introduce a scheme to give first-time buyers first dibs in new housing developments. Recruit 6,500 teachers paid for by ending tax breaks for private schools. Bring in new laws to tackle ticket touts. I'm seriously not that I couldn't get Doctor Who prom tickets, so that one might actually be a deal breaker for me. Right, we're going to take a quick breather from that feature, because I appreciate I've been nattering on for quite a while. Let's check in with the chat room. Let's see. Well, I voted Dalek. I await a brighter future, says SL. Thank you very much for your vote. Sounds nice, says the Tired Scott. Can we use the correct name for GBBs, please? Yeah, fair point. My cats never make jam. My cat's not been feeling well recently. Oh, I'm sorry. That's stretching it. Do they at least make biscuits? Don't know. Leave us alone, indeed. They do. Matt has met them and will confirm they're lovely. They are lovely. Meetina's cats are lovely. Big fan of Meetina's cats. Anyway, if you have any thoughts about what we've just discussed, pop them in the chat room. It's over on that side of the screen. We enjoy hearing what you have to say. So yeah, please post in the chat room. We'll read out some of your messages. It will be good. Right, let's play another song. This one is by Elton John and is dedicated to the relatively small number of Tory MPs who have decided they're going to stand in this election. Here we go.
You just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. And I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. Were meant to cut me down, and if my love was just a circus, you'd be a clown by now. No, I'm still standing better than I ever did, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing.
Elton John there, and I'm still standing. You are listening to Tea Time with Matt. Making random nonsense since 2009. It's Tea Time with Matt. Indeed. Alice Cooper, no, it's not your turn yet, honestly.
Fail.
I'm a failure.
Does anyone else think Matt's just got in after all day canvassing? I do kind of look like it, don't I? I was going for like a distinguished newsreader look. I don't think I pull it off. Dear oh dear. Right. Yes, my trans partner and I agree with the sentiments. Our transverse engine classic minis also agree, says Karen Vaughan. Thank you very much. You need a trans party. Yes, we bloody do, quite frankly. Fellow trans folk, says the Tired Scott. I've got a trans following. Goodness. A following. Jeez. Welcome. You're safe here. For those wanting more info about Keir and the Druids, Google Arthur Pendragon Stonehenge human rights. Tories are going down, Tories are going down, na na na. Impartial. That is a word that I am conceptually aware of. I've got BBC One playing on the tablet at the moment. It's showing Wimbledon at the moment. I think Andy Murray's playing the mixed doubles. So yeah, that's a thing that is currently happening. I will know when it's time to switch over to the BBC feed, by the way, because Not Going Out will finish. Which I think personally is a good thing for everybody. But, oh dear. I'm no good when the jokes aren't scripted. I'm really not.
Fail.
I'm a real failure.
So, shall we get back to some actual election coverage? Let's do it. Let's carry on with our explaining of the parties. Here we go. And we move on now to the Liberal Democrats and their party leader, Sir Ed Davey, the We Thought You Died party. The Liberal Democrats, remember those guys? Well, now they're led by a nice man called Sir Ed Davey, who has clearly embraced the fact that his party hasn't got a snowball's chance in hell of ever forming a government, and is just out on the campaign trail having a really good time. So far, he's fallen off a paddleboard into Lake Windermere 5 times, been on a roller coaster, thrown himself down a water slide, done an assault course, built sandcastles, made pancakes, competed in wheelbarrow races, and had a summer fashion makeover on ITV. Angela, the co-writer, even saw a clip of him doing archery, and he seems to be having a jolly nice time. Maybe he could be made ambassador for Centre Parks or something. To be fair, given how miserable all the other election news has been, Ed's been quite refreshing. Good job, Ed. And that's actually a really lovely manifesto you've made there. I'm going to stick it on the fridge. Manifesto pledges include: fine companies for dumping sewage, ban bonuses for water bosses, and replace water services regulator Ofwat. They also say they would achieve net zero by 2025, 5 years earlier than current targets. Create a legal right to see a GP within a week, or 24 hours if urgent, by hiring 8,000 extra GPs. Build at least 150,000 new council and social homes a year, and give local authorities the powers to end the right to buy in their area. A vow to fix the UK's broken relationship with Europe, including a pledge to rejoin the single market and ultimately the EU. Spending almost £27 billion more per year by 2029 through raising levies on banks, reforming capital gains, and cracking down on tax avoidance. We move on now to the Green Party and their joint party leaders Carla Denyer and Adrian Ramsey, the Save the Planet If It's Convenient party. The Green Party's single MP, Caroline Lucas, stood down ahead of the election after a 14-year run as MP from Brighton Pavilions. Fortunately, dynamic duo Carla and Adrian have a plan to turn it all around for the Greens. They did quite well in the local elections earlier this year, so the hope is that they may get 1 or even 2 seats. Keep your spirits up, guys. To be fair to them, the Green Party do have some quite good policies. There's no way they'll ever be in a position to act on them, but look on the bright side. That also means they'll never have to U-turn on them either. Manifesto pledges include: nationalise the railways, water companies, and Big Five energy companies. Accelerate the rollout of renewable energy, strengthen greenbelt restrictions, and give the UK ecosystems legal rights and protections. Create 150,000 new council homes, end the right to buy scheme, introduce rent controls, and end no-fault evictions. End privatisation in the NHS. We move on now to the Scottish National Party and their leader, John Swinney. I think that's how you say it. The First Minister of Scotland. The "We're Scottish, we can complain about things" party. The SNP have had a bit of a rough few months. From previous leader Nicola Sturgeon and her husband being arrested as part of a police investigation into fundraising fraud in the party, to previous First Minister Humza Yousaf resigning after a dramatic ending of a power-sharing deal with the Scottish Green Party. It's all gone a bit tits up north of the border. As a result, current First Minister John Swinney has a bit of a challenge on his hands to get a decent number of MPs into Westminster. I don't know enough about Scotland, so I can't really wax lyrical on this party, so we'll move straight on to manifesto pledges include: to eradicate child poverty in Scotland, to rejoin the European single market, investment in the NHS and action on the cost of living crisis, Scotland to reach its target to have net zero carbon emissions by 2045 while creating economic growth, continue to pressure Westminster for another independence referendum. Ah, good! A referendum. Those always go well. Moving on, up next we've got Plaid Cymru and Reen ap Yorwerth. The Matt's completely bungling the pronunciation of our leader's name party. They're Welsh, they're mad as hell, and they're not gonna take it anymore. I kid. Plaid Cymru are a small party, with only 4 sitting MPs in the last Parliament, and only 12 sitting MPs in the Welsh Syned, making them the 3rd largest party there. Their electoral chances have been made significantly more difficult this time around, thanks to constituency changes, meaning that the seats in Wales have been reduced from 40 to 32. Seems a bit harsh, really. Manifesto pledges include: transferring more powers from Westminster to the Syned, independence for Wales, fairer financing of the Welsh Government by UK ministers, a new Wales Development Agency to promote trade and attract investment. And we're going to take another slight pause there and catch up with the chat room. I am here, honest. It's currently 1 set down, but level in the second, says the Celestial Toymaker. Nice. Will this stream be going through the night? I noticed there's 2-part stream. Yes, so we're going to wrap this one up around 10:15, and then the second part kicks off from 11 PM, and we will be streaming through until the BBC tells us who's won officially. So that's the plan in any event. The Daleks are waiting in the wings, indeed. The Lib Dems, the party you did quite well with. Yes, indeed. All night with a short break just after 10, live until the results called. Indeed. Oh man, he should be the Prime Minister. He's just having fun. It's fun. If Matt were PM, we'd all be driving steam engines to work. Yes, you would, and you would like it. He also did a bungee jump with a cry, "Vote Liberal Democrats!" I think he's just using this election campaign as a 6-week audition to be a Blue Peter presenter. I love it. If anyone's offended by Matt's attempt at a Scottish accent, don't worry, I know where he is. I watched all of Peter Capaldi's run of Doctor Who to practice that accent, and I still got it wrong. To be fair, since the last India ref, there's been a massive goalpost shift of Brexit. That's true. Did I already miss the reform introduction? We'll get to that. The Welsh will turn up eventually, just like 20-mile-per-hour speed limits and all that. Gerrymandering in Wales, yes. It's pronounced Syned. Sorry. It's always Westminster's fault. Polite music request, Uprising by Muse. Yes, I'll stick it on the list. Anyway, up next is another music request from Angela. This is Alice Cooper and Elected. Here we go.
I wanna be
Alice Cooper and Elected. You are listening to Tea Time with Matt's Election Night 2024. Changing the world, one tea break at a time. It's Tea Time with Matt. Right, a couple of music requests in. I have popped them on the list. They will be coming up later in the show. Thank you for your requests. Personally, I think electric cars are going to be a technological dead end. Does anyone else think electric cars and motorbikes are great for cities but not for far travel? It's a fair point. They're getting better for long journeys. I know a few people who've had them for years, and they've mentioned that the distance between charges has increased now, says me Tina. Which is a good conversation. I'm enjoying this. Right, let's wrap up with the last few parties we are explaining. Where is that sound bed hiding? There it is. So our next party is Reform UK Party Limited and their leader Nigel Farage. The Total Fucking Bellend Party. Reform UK Party Limited is a limited company formerly known as the Brexit Party. It has no democratic system for electing its party leaders, as beautifully demonstrated when Nigel, too right-wing for the Daily Mail Farage, decided that actually he'd quite like another shot at being MP, and stepped in to take over from the incumbent party leader Richard Tice, a privately educated son of a horse trainer, with a bachelor's degree in construction economics and quantity surveying, and proud owner of precisely 2 brain cells to rub together. Since Farage took over as leader of Reform UK Party Limited, they've been doing inexplicably well in the polls, overtaking the Liberal Democrats and, in some polls, even the Conservative Party. Overall, they are now the 3rd most popular party in the country, according to polling data over the last few weeks. This is possibly down to the fact that Reform seems to have an army of Twitter and Facebook accounts operating out of Russian troll farms running their campaign, rather than because 17% of the country have taken leave of their senses. Nigel Farage has stood for election to Parliament 7 times, and lost 7 times, most notably in Buckingham and Winslow to a man dressed as a dolphin. The dolphin didn't win, by the way, he just got fewer votes than the dolphin. Privately educated Nigel went to school at Dulwich College in South London, where his teachers expressed concern about his publicly professed racist and neo-fascist views. According to The Guardian, when Nigel once asked Enoch Powell, a man famous for his Rivers of Blood speech, and who Nigel has professed to admiring, for his endorsement of his last political party, UKIP, this was not given. This is a man who is so bad, Enoch Powell wanted nothing to do with him. Nigel was a prominent figure in the 2016 Brexit referendum, despite not being an elected member of Parliament at the time. Weirdly, Nigel doesn't like to talk about Brexit now. Nigel is not a smart man. He is not a genius political strategist, or somebody with a great plan to save Britain. He is a man with precisely one marketable skill. That skill being the ability to open his mouth and spew absolute bullshit in a way that makes people think he's clever. This is evidenced by the fact that whenever someone challenges him on something he said, he throws a strop and starts acting like a petulant child. Nigel Farage is not your friend. He doesn't say what we're all thinking, he says what he's thinking and convinces you to think it. He is a con artist, a swindler, a man with absolutely no knowledge or understanding of anything at all. A man who denies that climate change exists, makes up nonsense on the fly, stokes hatred of people different from him, and does all of this for nothing more than his own self-interest. Nigel Farage is a bigoted streak of piss, who does not care about you beyond convincing you to open your wallet and fund his next trip to the pub, so he can smirk like a moron while downing a pint. While it would be utterly hilarious to watch him lose an election for the 8th consecutive time, I genuinely hope he doesn't. Because I think the best outcome of this whole affair would be for Nigel Farage to become MP for the people of Clacton. hear me out. If he becomes MP, he will become an irrelevance. He'll just be another backbench MP, passed over by the Speaker of the House 99% of the time to allow the adults to actually get stuff done. He'll continue doing all the crap he does currently, presenting for GBBs, lying through his teeth, making shit up off the top of his head and charging his gullible fans for the privilege. The only difference is that the people of Clacton will have 5 or so years to see what an absolute waste of space he is. And because he'll be just another backbench MP, we won't have to suffer through his smug shit-eating grin on the news every fucking evening. If I had to sum up Nigel Farage in one word, I would find that difficult. I can only think of one word, and I can't use that because it implies he has warmth and depth. Manifesto pledges include freezing non-essential immigration, reaching net zero immigration, the immediate deportation of foreign criminals, and stopping small boat crossings. Scrap the Windsor Framework on movement of goods, leave the European Convention on Human Rights, cut foreign aid by 50%. Raise the minimum threshold for business tax to £100,000, raising income tax threshold to £20,000, removing inheritance tax on estates worth under £2 million, scrapping unnecessary regulations, and simplifying the tax system. Boost police numbers, end woke policing, build 10,000 new prison places. Whatever other shit he scribbled on the back of a beer mat on his way to the interview. Sorry, did you think I meant it when I said this show was impartial? Anyway, let's have a palate cleanser. We'll move on to the Count Binface party and their party leader, Count Binface, the only serious person standing in this election party. Count Binface is an intergalactic space warrior, leader of the Recyclons from the planet Cygnum 9, who previously stood at 3 UK general elections. In 2019, he stood in the constituency of Uxbridge and South Ruislip against then Prime Minister Boris Johnson, where he received 69 votes, making Count Binface one of very few people to, quote, experience a surprising 69 with Boris in a West London sports hall at 4 a.m. on Friday the 13th, under a full moon. Moving on. Count Binface has also stood to be London Mayor on 2 occasions. In 2024's London mayoral election, Binface received 24,260 votes, which was roughly 4,000 more votes than the candidate for the British National Party. Never change, London. Never change. This time around, Count Binface is standing for the constituency of Richmond and Northallerton against current Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. This means that the people of Richmond and Northallerton have the opportunity to do something absolutely hilarious. Manifesto pledges include all water bosses to take a dip in British rivers to see how they like it. National service to be reintroduced for all former prime ministers. The reintroduction of CFAX. To build at least one affordable house. Croissants to be price capped at £1.10 and 99 flakes to cost 99p. Children in need to finally get round to fixing Pudsy's eye. Traffic on Northallerton High Street to be fixed by a new space bridge bypassing both level crossings. Now a couple of honourable mentions. First off is the Workers' Party of the Workers' Party of Britain. Failure bell. And their leader George Galloway. Remember him? Meow, 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 meow. Well, he's standing again. But the most important thing to remember is he must never be allowed to be alone in a room with Nigel Farage, as the vacuum caused by the lack of charisma will cause the world to implode. We haven't bothered reading his manifesto because it's probably nonsense. And another honourable mention now to the official Monster Raving Loony Party. An honourable mention to the late Screaming Lord Sutch, the greatest Prime Minister we never had, according to Angela, the co-writer. Sadly, the party is a shadow of its former glorious self, not helped by howling Lord Hope being chummy with Farage. This makes Angela a particularly sad panda. Me too, Angela. Me too. And And finally, our final serious party, the Dalek Empire, and their party leader, the Dalek Supreme. Actually, their policies are quite reasonable when you really think about it, party. That's right, those lovable pepper pots are back and running for Parliament again. Their campaign has captured the public imagination a bit this year for some reason. Beats me. Manifesto pledges include the total extermination of all inferior life forms. Oh, no, sorry. That's a Reform UK Party Limited policy again. My bad. And that, folks, was my explanation of all of the political parties running in this election. Finished with that. Right, what's going on in the chat room? Right, let's see. He couldn't even keep his promise of not standing. They can exterminate for miles and miles and miles and miles. That's the electric cars. Daleks are all electric. Right, sorry. Farage is trying to use Clacton to get a seat in Parliament. My arse, he will turn up to weekly surgeries in the constituency and probably barely show up to Parliament too. Exactly. Of those two brain cells, one lost, the other's out looking for it. I hope you all don't dislike me, but I may have voted Reform. Hey, look. Be a very boring world if we all felt the same. But I've said my piece. We won't touch on it further. The Dolphins should have won. Does UKIP even still exist? Correction, how does UKIP still exist? Matt's showing some really solid restraint here. I'm impressed. The Dolphin was called Flippy and stood to protest John Bercow, the then MP for Buckingham and Windsor, as well as the Speaker of the House and Commons, flipping his houses for profit tax reasons. Nice. It doesn't. It morphed into Reform. No, UKIP does still exist. It's tiny now. Yes. But what do you really think, Matt? Don't hold back now. You don't want to know what I really think. Do you need a cuddle, Matt? I can hear your arteries hardening from here. The ECHR, that thing set up and spearheaded by the UK after the war to stop fucking genocide. Sorry about the language, it's warranted. Yeah, I think we're fine. Song request, Jack the Ripper by Screaming Lord Such. Any word from the Adder Party in the Dunny on the Wall by-election? I know who we need is Guy Fawkes. All hail the Dolphin. Oh, nice. I love you guys. I really do. Right. Let's play another song and then we'll move on to another feature. Actually, after the next song, we'll dip into the Discord server and speak to the listeners. So if you have the Discord link, dive in there. In fact, I'll put it in the chat room while the song's playing. So I know you definitely have it. Up next is Billy Joel and We Didn't Start the Fire. we didn't start the fire ending rather abruptly there. Sorry about that. You're listening to Tea Time with Matt. Changing the world, one tea break at a time. It's Tea Time with Matt. Right, let's dip into the Discord chat room and have a chat with some of our lovely listeners, beginning with Dalek Sek. Hello, how are you doing? Not listening to me.
I'm alright. I'm just trying to sort out something here because my phone's been buggy all day.
Oh, okay, fair enough. No worries. How are you keeping? Are you good?
I'm alright for the most part. I've just been dealing with school again.
School, hard times. What year are you in now?
S5.
Oh, okay. I don't know what the... You're in Scotland, aren't you? I don't know what the sort of Scottish schooling system is, so I don't really know what the equivalent is. Okay, we've lost Dalek Sec momentarily there. Let's move on. The Tired Scott is here as well. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm doing all right, thanks.
Good, good. Pleased to hear it. How are you keeping?
It's been a mixed bag, but today had a bit of a busy week. I unfortunately wasn't able to vote in the election because I've changed my name recently, and I thought I would have time. I did not have time because the election was called.
This is why voter ID sucks, right? Because it was never required before.
We didn't have to do, didn't have to do this.
No, exactly. The amount of electoral fraud that actually went wrong was so minute. It was a complete waste of time. In fact, the manner in which they brought in voter ID and the way in which they've made certain things permissible but certain things not permissible, will actually probably be more likely to impact the final result in itself than any electoral fraud would ever have done. So, yeah.
Aye.
It's an
I wonder if they'll remove that. I wonder if that'll stay.
No, I think some of the parties aren't very keen on it, so we'll have to wait and see. It just seems like a massive exercise in disenfranchisement to me. Well,
other than that, I've had a good...
I'm glad you had a good week, although I'm sorry you didn't get to vote. That sucks, and I am enraged on your behalf.
Oh, thanks.
That's all right. You're welcome. Let's talk to someone else. Nanny Nom Noms is here. How are you?
I'm all right, Matthew. I'm just looking after my mother because she's got cataract infection in her eye. She had to have another operation at Morley's Eye Hospital because she had a bit of a tear at the back of her eye, and they had to stitch it. So I'm giving her eye drops and I'm looking after her. It's been about 1 to 3 months since she had the operation.
Oh dear.
So right now I'm giving her antibiotic and stabilizer eye drops, and hopefully by the end of this month we're going to be going back to the eye hospital and taking the stitch out, and the eye can process its healing.
Oh well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad she's on the mend. Fingers crossed for her, and do send her my love, won't you?
Yeah, but she'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be good. Well, it's good to hear from you anyway. How have you been keeping otherwise? You doing well?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just looking after my mum as usual, staying indoors. And what else? I'm saving up money to help the infants and the people in Philistine, or Palestine, as most people are known to know that country as.
Oh, that's awesome! Wow, what are you doing to raise that money? What are you doing to raise that money?
What am I doing? Basically, we're giving the children some food and some shelter by donating.
Yeah.
And it is a cost. It's costing our bit of living for a bit, in terms of bills. But as long as the children of Philistine or Palestine stay, that's my main concern right now. And also, I'm also saving up money so I can buy a gaming PC or a gaming laptop, hopefully by the end of this year on Black Friday.
Oh, awesome. That would be cool. Nice. Yeah. Oh, well,
How
that's...
have you been? Oh, by the way, Matthew, before we continue, how are you with, normal life, your
Oh,
son, your wife, the missus, everything that's been going on? Because it's been a while, since it's it's been a long time since we last spoke. Well, ever since we had a VC together, really, like
yeah.
all of us together.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, I'm doing well. My wife's doing very well as well, and my little boy's doing really. He's walking everywhere now, which is just.
Oh, bless. How old is he now?
He is a year and hang on a minute, April, May, June, July. He's a year and 3 months, which is terrifying because I swear it was just yesterday I could fit him here. So that's.
Oh, bless him.
He's a tiny human now. He's got a personality and opinions, and it's scary and beautiful and wonderful all at the same time. I know I'm a soppy git. I apologise.
Yeah, next year or two, you'll probably have him begging you, "Daddy, I want you," and it's like, I'm not enough again. I wish he was still a baby now.
Tired Scott says, "You think that's terrifying? Wait till he's a teen." I'm dreading it. I was a little arsehole as a teenager, so yeah. Oh dear, yeah. Oh, terrifying. Well, nice to speak to you, Nanny Non Noms. It's lovely to hear from you as always. We will move on now and we will do some features. I'm just going to mute the chat room for the moment. Does he have a favourite train-based film yet? No, not at the moment. We're trying to keep him away from screens as long as possible, to be honest. I'll get round to showing him a good one eventually. Tearfield Thunderbolt. Okay, let's move on and do one of our features for the show. Which one shall we do? I'm just going to get my pen and stab at random. I know what we'll do. Let's do Matt Reviews the Classics. For those of you who don't know and haven't heard of this feature before, this is a feature where I review a classic work of literature. They do tend to get a bit long-winded, so I apologise in advance. This week's novel is House of Cards, the author of which escapes me because I did this last minute because I realised I hadn't done one. But it's House of Cards. Here we go. This is Matt Reviews the Classics. The American TV series was just okay. That was Matt Reviews the Classics and my review of Michael Dobbs' House of Cards. Oh, sorry, that went on way too long. I apologise. I just can't help myself. I love these books so much. Can't wait to read that review in the Sunday Times. Oh, there's a motorbike going past my house. You could all hear that, I imagine. Couldn't have put it better myself. Nice. If they ever get around to doing that live-action version of Ivor the Engine, Matt needs to play Jones the Steam. I can't do the Welsh accent. Oh dear. Who could play Jones the Steam on a serious note in that? Yeah. What Welsh actors are there? Rob Brydon, someone pitched. I think he was involved in the attempted film. Yeah, don't know. Yeah. If anyone has any ideas about that, stick them in the chat room. Why not? Let's go off on a tangent. Let's play another song. This is a song from a lovely gentleman called Mr. Mitch Benn. And it's a very topical song. I hope you'll all enjoy it. This is Rishi Sunak Hasn't.
Have you ever had to wonder how you'll make it through the day? Laying awake at night thinking of bills you just can't pay. Ever struggle just to cover the bare necessities, or just gone without some simple luxuries? Because Rishi Sunak hasn't. He's never caught back or made do. He's never been short of cash, be it boom or crash. Unlike me and you, he'll never understand the feeling of working hard just to get by. But the bad thing is he can't be asked to try. Have you stared long at the numbers, trying to make them make some sense? You've eliminated every optional expense, and still you're not quite certain how you'll keep your family fed, or how you'll even keep a roof over your head. Well, Rishi Sunak hasn't. He's never had to fret or care. He wasn't making enough down at Goldman Sachs, so he married a billionaire. No, Rishi Sunak hasn't ever had to economize, but he doesn't even try to empathize. You don't choose where you're born or what life you will live, but you do get to choose how many fucks you will give. You don't have to renounce all your wealth to do good works, it's true. You just have to remember that they're just as human as you. And Rishi Sunak hasn't ever tried to understand what it is to be born without silver spoons in your mouth and each hand. No, Rishi Sunak hasn't. He never will, and when he's gone, he'll just go spend more time with his millions.
That was Mr. Mitch Benn and Rishi Sunak Hasn't. You're listening to Tea Time with Matt. Tea Time with Matt, because dunkers do it best. I'm going to fade the Discord chat back up momentarily, because I'd love people to chime in on this next feature, which is... what shall we do? Let's take a look at some of my local campaign literature. I have a selection of leaflets here from the various political parties, and we're going to take a look at them now. not in great detail. We're just going to skim through them, really, just so we can get a vibe of what people are promising me locally in the constituency of Buckingham and Bletchley, which is a brand new constituency. We were always Milton Keynes South before. No, now we are Buckingham and Bletchley. So, yes, hooray for electoral boundaries changing. Right, let's begin with this nice chap, and I'm going to need to flick over to my close-up camera for this, because we're going to do this in detail. This nice gentleman here with the rather fetching glasses is Ian Stewart. He is the sitting MP for the constituency of Buckingham and Bletchley. He is promising to invest in our local healthcare. Well, he hasn't done that so far. Keep our community safe, again, and protect our green spaces. Well, given the amount of building work going on in Milton Keynes, it's not likely. Let's have a look on the inside of the leaflet here. Our plan for Buckingham and Bletchley to secure a better future for all. Ian has a strong track record of delivering for constituents. What does he do? Deliveroo on the weekends? Shaping national policies. Yes, he shapes national policies by always being a vote teller and never actually voting on anything. He's had his home in the constituency for many years, that at least is true. He was elected MP in Bletchley area in 2010. He has helped thousands of constituents who need assistance. He successfully campaigned for investments locally, including East-West Rail from Bletchley to Windsor, nothing to do with him, and beyond. Extra officers for Thames Valley Police, nothing to do with him. More NHS capacity, where? He has experience of getting things done in Westminster and will be a strong voice of reason for fellow residents of blah, blah, blah. He's going to invest in our healthcare. He's successfully delivered investment into local healthcare services. We now have new same-day emergency care unit and community diagnostics hub. Radiotherapy centre will soon. Again, he had nothing to do with any of this. Improving our journeys. He's been an effective campaigner for better transport. Has he ever taken a bus in this city? I don't think he has. Right, what else? Protecting our green spaces. He's a record of working with local communities to oppose inappropriate developments. I mean, you look at some of the new build estates around here, I'm not sure I'm convinced by that. He's made our safety a priority. Well, that's good to know. There are over 600 more police officers in Thames Valley. Thames Valley's quite a big area. Doesn't necessarily mean we got more here. Training people from tomorrow's jobs, from the AI Safety Summit and the new Institute of Technology to the cutting edge of tech. He's taking credit for the Institute of Technology. Nothing to do with him. All to do with Milton Keynes College. Regenerating Bletchley Town Centre. Not difficult. It's all closed. And finally, there's some guff on the back about Keir Starmer and about giving him a blank cheque. More taxes and borrowing, leaving our children with more debt. I don't mind paying more tax if I got a country that functions. More of your money going to benefits. More of my tax money going to people who need it. Great. French-style union laws, banning flexible working and putting people's jobs at risk. Great. Ban flexible working. It's rubbish. Introduce the retirement tax. Not being funny. Retired people, most of them have all the money. He sent us another one. It's all the same guff. I'm not going to read it all out, but it's, yeah, there's some more policy stuff here. So cutting national insurance, protecting pensions, free childcare, spending 2.5% of GDP on defence by 2030. It was you lot who slashed it, wasn't it? Securing our borders, changing how we get to net zero. We protect the environment without making you pay more. Cake, have, eat. Right, let's look at some of the Labour Party stuff. This nice chap is Callum Anderson. He's about 12, love him, but he seems alright. At this election you have the chance to vote for a fresh start. My mum taught me that if I worked hard then Britain had plenty of opportunities to go around. After 14 years of the Tories, I'm not sure that's still true. Are you? I meet too many families struggling to make ends meet or get that doctor's appointment, too many young people struggling to buy their own home, and too many would-be business people unable to raise the money they need to create local, well-paid jobs. Britain deserves better. You and your family deserve better. As your MP, I'll fight to ensure opportunity is right for everyone who lives in our city, towns and villages. That's the other thing. Ian Stewart banged on about Bletchley and Milton Keynes. Nothing about Buckingham. As your MP, I'll fight to ensure opportunities are right for everyone who lives in our cities, towns and villages. I'll be working hard to earn your vote and make your voice heard in Westminster. All sounds good so far. Let's get into the meat. Callum grew up in Dunstable while working in a local supermarket. His mum taught him the importance of aspiration and hard work, and he was the first of his family to attend university. He's worked in regulation teams across public and private sectors. He's now at the London Stock Exchange. You can't have everything. To shape the laws which ensure our financial markets properly serve UK companies, communications and families wherever they live. The aim of every decision I take as your MP will be to make your life easier and provide more opportunities for you and your family. As your voice in Westminster, I'll stand up for our shared local priorities every day. Clean energy that keeps your bills low, more at GPs and NHS dentists, better bus services, good local schools, support small businesses to create well-paid jobs, breathe new life into high streets. So that's all sounds quite good. There's a couple of testimonials here from Lynn in Winslow and Susanna in Buckingham. Callum's hardworking, determined and focused. He has my full trust in representing communities effectively in Westminster. And Susanna in Buckingham says his economic policy expertise make him well placed to help cut people's cost of living and attract the investment we need. Oh, that all sounds good. And then we've had this one. Does what it says on the tin. And then there's some stuff on the back. About the same. Moving on. The other people who've been in touch is Dominic Dyer, who is our local Liberal Democrat candidate. He's put his phone number and email address on here. I probably should have blanked that out, but never mind. I mean, he posted it to all of his constituents, let's be honest. Right. This is quite long leaving. Right. Yeah. This is wildly misleading. It's yes, this was entirely true in Buckingham, right? In Bletchley, not so much. Yeah, Labour came second in Bletchley. The constituencies have moved around. This is dishonest. I don't agree with this. Anyway, Conservatives have plunged the NHS into crisis. Local health services are under immense pressure following years of underinvestment and mismanagement. I often hear from people that are no longer confident when they need medical help they can get it. When they ring 999, they don't know if they'll get the emergency treatment they need. The Lib Dems would ensure everyone can get an appointment when they need one and get the treatment they need. All good so far. Your choice at this election, a load of guff about how bad the Tories are and things they can do. Fix health service, tackle cost of living, protect the environment. And then on the inside, we've got, again, some bits and bobs in here about what they plan to do. Better access to GP and dental services, tackle the cost of living crisis. I have no idea what that formatting is. And protect our local environment. All sounds very nice. Yeah. Well, I say, they've got some good policies, the Lib Dems. It's just a shame they'll never get anywhere near Parliament. Up next, we have Amanda, who is the Green Party candidate. She is proud to be the Green Party parliamentary candidate for Buckingham and Bletchley. She stands for affordable housing, government funding of the NHS, improving your standard of living, improving water quality, tackling the climate crisis, protecting wildlife and nature, and our stance of calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. These are systemic changes we need to make for a better future. As your MP, I will push for bold and ambitious change to ensure an improved future for everyone. Green MPs will push the government to think bigger and do better. And then on the back, some bits and bobs. The Conservatives are going to lose. Will Labour bring change? Not much. Vote Green. Real hope, real change. Defend the NHS, affordable homes for everyone, back an immediate ceasefire in Israel and Gaza, protect our seas and rivers from sewage dumping by bringing water companies back into public hands, defend nature and urgently tackle the climate emergency. What I really like about this is it says what it wants to say and gets out. Nice and straightforward. No guff. And it's a single A5 sheet, so they're saving paper. Paper? Hang on.
Fail.
I'm a failure.
Paper. Saving paper. Dear, oh dear. Right. So that's some of the ones I had. I did also have a leaflet through from Reform. It's basically the same stuff. They've not done anything local really. They're promising to stop the boats, have zero waiting list, make work pay, and freeze immigration. So same stuff they always go on about really. And then on the back, immigration needs reform, freeze essential non-essential immigration, stop the boats, leave the European Court of Human Rights, stop the illegal working scandal. Nothing about what their candidate Jordan is going to do locally. And to be perfectly honest with you, the thing I find very telling is that Jordan Catterall did not have a social media presence until about 6 weeks ago, apparently. Enough said. Yeah, it's... what can you say? Like I say, there's light on detail, nothing about what they're going to do locally, and not even a photo of Jordan on this. I mean, honestly, just these two people. It's... yeah. How are the boats getting to Bletchley via the Blue Lagoon? That's very good. Yeah. Anyway, so that was some of the party literature we got through the door. I'm always grateful for people who do put literature through. It shows you're making an effort. Some people made more of an effort than others. And some people had, made an effort to try and address some local concerns, which I like. But, yeah, I don't like it when parties expect your vote but don't do any campaigning. That just feels lazy to me. But that's my view. Right, let's see what some of you have said in the chat room. Michael Sheen as Jones the Seaman, Rob Brydon as Dire Station. Yes! Oh, Michael Sheen. I love it. Yeah. I like Rob Brydon. Nice. I can do an impression of Jones the Steam. Nice. Michael Sheen is too tall. Fair dues. Let's see. Ian Stewart, former MP for the area of MK that covers Bletchley. Yes, indeed. He was elected in 2010 and stayed there for the next 14 years. He's also got a CBE in the latest round of honours for what? He hasn't done anything. Can we talk in the Discord chat? Yeah, of course you can. I've got it faded up, so yeah, do feel free to chime in. French style unions. Don't threaten us with a good time, guys. Anyone seen the statement on Twitter, Rishi saying, "You name it, Labour will tax it," and someone has replied, "Your wife." I did see that. On a seaside mission says, "I'm on holiday in Wales, voted by post. What's occurring?" Nice to see you. Welcome. We're having a nice time. We're just chatting about the parties. It's all been a lot of fun so far, I think. Just going to scratch that feature off my list. I'm going to run out of time to do all these features, I think. We might have to roll some of it over into the late night show, which isn't what I wanted to do, but never mind. Have you had the one where he's endorsed by Chris Packham? No, I've not had that one. Man, the wind where I am is crazy. Doesn't feel like July at all. I do like the back of the green pamphlet. It's quite good. It is a good leaflet. I like it. It's good. Just had a cold damp week in Harlech. I like Wales. Wales is lovely. But that's Wales. Look you. How are the boats get? Oh, we did that already. I like the truth written on the leaflet. Well, it's fine. Some parties posted literature through my door several times. My bin is now full. Sad to say I couldn't vote Dalek on my form. That is a shame. Trouble with party pamphlets is that they're too shiny to put down for tortoises to crap on. I like your style. No Plaid Cymru where I live. No, fair enough. The thing about Wales and the fact they've had their constituency numbers go from, 40 down to 32 is kind of outrageous when you think about it, isn't it? Yeah, I don't understand that at all. But anyway, I just finished an essay on British farming. Nice, which means you know precisely as much about British farming as most Conservative MPs. Oh, silly. Right, let's play another song. This was a request. I forget who requested it. But this is Muse and Uprising. Here we go.
Oh, Matt?
Oh, yes?
Is it okay when we have another break? Is it okay if I send you a song in the DMs for you to play next? if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, that's
Cool.
right.
Right, here we go. Muse. Dunkers of the world, unite! It's Tea Time with Matt. Welcome back, everybody. You are indeed listening to Tea Time with Matt, and it is election night 2024. Little update on the chat room. Let's see. There we are. Ace of Riddles requested that last song, which was Muse and Uprising. I forgot to mention that I helped with the Scottish postal vote, said Dalek. Oh, that's cool. Nice. A couple of song requests. If we don't get your song request in by the end of part 1, we'll play it in part 2. So do stick around. Let's see. East Coast Steam says, I did the count one night, got paid a nice tidy amount for counting the postal votes in the days leading up to, and also a good bit for the count of the town hall. Nice. I didn't realise they were paid. I thought they were all volunteers. Ravenhawk is here. Hello, welcome. He says, hello from across the pond, Matt. I got the day off, so I'm actually able to catch your stream for a change. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Welcome. I apologise in advance for the heavy coverage of British politics, which I fear will be lost on many of my American viewers. So, but I hope you have a good time anyway, because we do like to have fun. Right, I've just had a look over on the BBC, and I'm noting that Not Going Out is now playing, which means we're only about 20 minutes away from going over to the BBC's election coverage. And approximately, let me see, 27 minutes away from the exit polls. So, all that to come. And more. Right, I'm going to take votes now on what you want me to cover for the next few minutes. So we can do the news, we could do alternative facts, or we could do common sense advice. I'm throwing it out to the chat room. What would you guys like to see me do before we go over to the Beeb? I'm easy. I will do whatever you guys want to do, and anything we don't cover in this show, we will cover when we come back at 11 PM. So, exciting. Common sense advice. Okay, well, that's good enough for me. So, it's the second time we've had the common sense advice soundbed in. Oh, shuffle those papers, shuffle them. There's reports there's a Pixford van and it's just turned up in Downing Street. Harvey Harrison says, good evening, Matt from Team MVR. Hello, Team MVR. Common sense advice, please. At least do the news story I sent you. Can you message me that again, please, Tina? Because I don't think I included it. I'm gonna have to read it out separately. Sorry, I got myself in a right muddle this afternoon trying to collate all the stuff. And yeah, how long till the results are announced? 24 minutes. We will get the exit polls, and then results should start coming in from about 11 onwards. So, yes. Common sense advice seems to be the theme. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Common sense advice. Congratulations! You've lost the election! Your nice safe seat in the middle of nowhere, a place where the local residents would previously have voted for a potato if your party pinned a rosette on it, has suddenly become very unfriendly. After weeks of knocking on doors, being shouted at and spat on by the great unwashed, you've lost out to someone who the public actually likes. Don't panic. Tea Time with Matt is here with a warm cup of tea and a friendly ear to guide you through the 5 stages of electoral grief. This is Tea Time with Matt's common sense advice on how to cope with the fact you just lost your seat. And to do this, say it with me, folks, we're going to need a common sense advice soundbed. There we go. Nice. Okay. Step 1, denial. For a little while, it's not quite going to sink in that you've lost. So if it will make you feel better, demand a recount. The returning officer has the right to turn down your request, but that's okay. You can simply take an election petition to the courts and have them order a recount. After all, this is clearly a mistake. There's no way those nice people in your constituency wanted you gone. Right? Right? Step 2, anger. Start looking for somebody to blame. The woke liberal media, for example. After all, it was those tofu-eating lefties at the BBC who broadcast that piece about how you were caught out recording your mates pretending to be ordinary members of the public saying how great you are. And what about that piece in And what about that piece in Private Eye about all the money you've taken from the local shooting estate, while on a completely unrelated note leaning on the Police and Crime Commissioner to close down their wildlife crime unit? Or that article on LBC about how you were spotted out on the campaign trail with a convicted heroin dealer? These are all actual things Tory MPs have been caught doing, by the way.
Unfortunately.
Step 3, acceptance. Unlike normal grief, the next few steps are a bit jumbled up. You've skipped right on to acceptance. Good for you. After all, it's not like you actually wanted to be an MP anyway. All those meetings with constituents moaning about how their bins aren't being emptied, or that their neighbour got planning permission for a garage, or telling you that they're earning so little as an NHS nurse you have to go to a food bank to feed your children. Bunch of whiny nobodies. You've got bigger fish to fry. That leads us neatly on to step 4, bargaining. This is the fun bit. You get to bargain with potential future employers about how much they're prepared to pay you. You could go into consultancy and be paid millions of pounds to tell people whose jobs you don't understand that they're doing it wrong. Or start doing after-dinner speeches for people who work in the city. Not only do you get paid to speak utter bullshit for 30 minutes about subjects you know nothing about, but you'll make contacts who can get you in at Goldman Sachs or some other lucrative firm. And if all that fails, there's always GB News. They'll take anyone. Well, anyone anyone sufficiently right-wing, anyway. And finally, depression. Nah, only kidding. Only people with empathy, decency and compassion get depressed. Fortunately, you're not burdened with any of these afflictions, so you can just ride off into the sunset and live the rest of your life knowing that you're just bloody brilliant, and that people will pay you lots of money for it. So what if all the plebs hate you? You have money now, you can hoard your wealth and swim in it like Scrooge McDuck, while quaffing champagne and kicking the shit out of a fox. And who cares what the electorate thinks anyway? They're all thickos who wanted to kick you out. What do they know? Good luck out there. You won't need it. You went to the right school after all.
Please be advised that if you do swim in your cash, make sure that it's notes and not pound coins.
Yeah.
Although if you do that, no one will be bothered. You're you're a billionaire. If you do that, you'll get bothered.
Yeah, and in case you do a stupid dive, in a big sea of coins, you're going to end up breaking your bones really easily. And Peter Griffin just showed us what happens when you do that.
But you're rich, so you'll be fine.
Yes, exactly. Richness protects you from most things. GBBs, please. Sorry. Oh dear. Right, we've got a couple of features left. We've got alternative facts and we've got the news. I don't think we're going to cover all of those. I might do the news in the second half. We shall see. Let me just cross that off my list. There we are. We are rattling through. Okay, we've got 15 minutes until the BBC coverage starts. So, I am going to play our next song, and then I think we will do... Oh, I haven't done the weather. We'll do the weather, and then we'll do alternative facts. That's what we're going to do. Here's Mickey Bubble, and It's a Beautiful Day.
I don't know why you think that you could help me when you couldn't get by yourself. And I don't know who would ever want to tell the seam of someone's dream. Baby, it's fine. You said that we should just be friends. Well, I came up with that line, and I'm sure that it's for the best. If you ever change your mind, don't hold your breath. Look, you may not believe that, baby, I'm relieved when you said goodbye. My whole world shined. Hey, it's a beautiful day, and I can't stop myself from smiling. If I drink and then I'm buying, and I know there's no denying. It's a beautiful day, the sun is up, the music's playing, and even if it started raining, you won't hear this boy complain. was getting lying cause I'm easy, no playing this guy like a fool. But now I'm alright. You might have had me caged before, but not tonight. And you may not believe that, baby, I'm relieved. This fire inside, yeah, burns too bright. I don't wanna stay so long. I just wanna say goodbye. It's a beautiful day. I can't stop myself from smiling. If I drink and then I'm buying, and I know there's no denying that it's a beautiful day. The sun is up and the music's playing, and even if it started raining, you won't hear this boy complaining. Cause I'm glad that you're the one who got away. Cause if you ever think I'll take up my time with thinking of our breakup, then you've got another thing coming your way. Cause it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Oh, baby, any day that you're gone away. It's a beautiful day.
YouTube's best and only, whatever the hell this is. It's Tea Time with Matt. It is indeed Tea Time with Matt. That was Mickey Bubble, and it's a beautiful day. Love it. Not staying up for the results. Got to drive tomorrow to England. You poor thing. I'm so sorry. Got to watch the first reports, then get up early on early shifts anyway. Oh, well, it would lovely to have you. Those of you who can stay, please do. Those of you who can't, I'm not offended. You need sleep. I've booked 2 days off for this. It's fine. Oh dear. Right, what else in the chat room? Memories of Christmas trips to the Central Belt. Nice. Sorry I'm late, I'm completely forgot, says Giratina. Don't worry, you are fine. And you can watch it all on catch-up in the 45-minute to 30-minute break. So you're fine. All good. Right. Let's move on and do our next feature now. Our next feature, of course, is this. It's just after 3 o'clock in the morning. You are the returning officer for the constituency of Fiddling on the Wold. The results have been delivered to you in a sealed envelope by a passing raven. The candidates surround you on stage as you read out the results. You reach the end of the list and announce that the Void is duly elected Member of Parliament for the constituency of Fiddling on the Wold. The crowd begins to clap slowly in unison, chanting, "All hail the Void." The Void approaches you, hard to look at, being nothing more than a blurry region of absence surrounded by a cloud of dust, which is somehow screaming. A tentacle emerges from within the absence and takes your hand, shaking it gently. A voice speaks inside your head and whispers, "Welcome to Tea Time with Matt's Alternative Facts." Rishi Sunak has not been in Britain since December 2023. At 3 p.m. on Christmas Day, while everyone was distracted watching the King's speech, he quietly snuck out the back door of Downing Street disguised as an onion seller and fled the country. He is currently living in the town of Glasgow, Montana, where he has started a new life as a tumbleweed farmer. Keir Starmer has never been to a harvester before. This is because he suffers from an allergy to unlimited salad and bread rolls, not because he's a snob. He's frequently seen at his local Wetherspoons on curry night, tucking into a chicken korma and drinking a pint of Magners. The Liberal Democrats did not start life as a political party. Established in 1927 by Dr. Faversham Liberal Democrat, the organisation was originally a Louis Armstrong and his Hot Five tribute band. The switch to being a political party did not take place until September of 1928, by which time all the members had finally admitted they could not actually sing or play any jazz instruments. Nigel Farage is a racist prick. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Fact Wrangler! Sorry about that. Moving on. Nobody has ever actually voted for the SNP. Everyone who has ever put a cross in the SNP box genuinely believed they were actually asking the polling station to send new paper to the booth, and became confused when someone did not promptly appear with a better ballot paper containing a selection of better candidates. Wales is only actually allowed to remain in the UK because it's where the BBC filmed Doctor Who. If the BBC and Disney ever decide that enough is enough and the show is cancelled, then Wales will be separated from mainland Britain using explosives and towed out into the Irish Sea, so Ireland can deal with them. Transgender people have been using the same bathroom as you all your life. In fact, there's one in there with you right now. Oh my god, run! Leave your belongings! Forget the children! It's too late for them! Save yourself! That's you. That's how dumb you sound. Whoops, sorry about that. A couple of actual facts snuck in there. The Fact Wrangler will be disciplined, don't worry. That was Tea Time with Matt's Alternative Facts, ladies and gentlemen. Right. King's Speech, not the film. No, you're not offended, you're Matt. Very true. I'm going to stay up till I'm falling asleep. Nice. I love Michael Bublé. I like Michael Bublé. Let's see, what else? Nope, no one said anything else. Okay, well, greetings to everyone who's here. I'm going to play one more song, and then I think it's going to be time to nip over to the BBC. So, we will now... where is that song? Oh, I've timed that perfectly. It's already where I want it in the list. Okay, this is a request. Don't remember who requested it. I'm rubbish at doing requests. I should really write these down. This is Dream and Things Can Only Get Better. Curiously appropriate.
Walk my path. You can wear my shoes. Learn to talk like me. Be an angel too. But maybe you ain't never gonna feel this way. You ain't never gonna know me. But I know you. Singing in our things can only get better. Can only get better. If we see it through, that means me and I mean you too. So teach me not to think. Can only get better. Can only get, take it on from me. You know, I know that things can only get better. Sometimes lose myself.
changing the world, one tea break at a time. It's Tea Time with Matt. Welcome back, everybody. You just heard Dream and Things Can Only Get Better, a song from the 1990s, which is why I do not know the words. Is that your John Prescott, Peter Mandelson dancing tribute? Not intentionally. The Theresa May one was intentional. John Prescott punched the guy for throwing eggs at him. I think I can appreciate that. Tina said, that's right, fair play to him. When someone did the same to Arnold Schwarzenegger, his response was, that guy owes me bacon now. That's very good. I like that. I like that a lot. We'll be going over to the BBC shortly, which means that my wife should be coming down with Prosecco about now. Hint, hint. She's literally just opened the lid as I said that. Oh dear. Right, while she's manhandling glasses and things downstairs, let's do our next feature, and that feature is the weather. Switching over to the Tea Time Towers live feed, the driveway camera appears to have been obscured by triffids. Sorry about that. The front door camera is not giving a clear view either. It was a little bit breezy earlier, but not so much now. You can see a little bit of wind flapping on the skip bag that contains the contents of my old bathroom. Moving over to the alleyway camera, again, not much to see there. It was very breezy, as I say, but you're not getting much breeze down here. And if we move into the back door footage, we can see that there's not a lot of breeze. Hello, wife.
Hello, husband.
There's not a lot of breeze going there. It's a nice clear evening, I believe. And you can see my pond, the waterfall trickling there. There is a bit of a breeze. There we go. And the cats come too. It's beautiful. That was the weather. Let us know what it's doing where you are.
Just breezy and in a nice evening sky over here.
Breezy and a nice evening sky. That's good to hear. What? Who set that off?
That?
What? Where did that come from?
The mysterious trumpeter. The mysterious trumpeter.
Grab a seat, darling. Right, we're about to go live to the BBC because I can see they're now playing the ident. Here we go.
And the cat.
It's 5 to 10, and with millions of you having cast your
Oh.
votes,
There
the
we go.
polls are about to close.
The
Where is it?
arguments of the campaign are over.
I believe that's
Counting
TV
is
Centre.
about to start. So, let election
Okay,
begin.
who's doing that?
Who has the soundboard? Who's this? Hello, darling. Lots of darlings.
Hello, Dalek San and Dalek Giratina, by the way. Nice to see you both. Do come and sit next to me like you love me, darling.
Hello there.
Wow. Wow. You all saw that, right?
I think I did.
Okay. We're just getting views of the gardening Matt has yet to do, indeed. Really appreciate the Triffids reference. I love Day of the Triffids. Triffids are great. Okay, we're getting footage of all of the parties out on the campaign trail. There's Farage pointing at a pensioner. Presumably they're going to burn her as a witch.
Do not.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to our election night studio.
Oh,
your
look at
destination
that.
for
I forget
unrivaled
his name,
coverage
please.
over the next 10
I believe
hours.
that's Clive
As we
Mirry
discover whom you've
and
chosen
Laura
to
Koonsberg.
walk through that famous door
I think I'm
in
slight.
Downing
I think this is
Last
slightly.
time round, Boris Johnson was
I think Laura Koonsberg is rocking the Tory newsreader Barbie
still
look
in
this
the
evening.
European Union, and no one had
Yes,
heard of
very
coronavirus.
Theresa
Today,
May
of
and Liz
course, the
Truss.
political landscape is very different, and the leaders of all the major parties have changed. Sir Keir Starmer cast his vote
It's
this morning.
3
Only
minutes
4
till the exit.
Labour
It's
Oh,
been
it's
raining
okay.
daily for the past 7 days, says little Miss Tara Bear. Mrs. Matt, if you're being held against your will, blink twice.
No, I married you willingly.
Yeah, unfortunately for you.
Sunak is the fifth Tory Prime Minister in
luck.
quick succession.
These things
He
happen.
surprised the country with a snap election and has been fighting
Here we are. Here's
hard
Rishi
Oh,
Sunak
there
and his
to
billionaire
power
wife
after the
walking to the
Tories'
polling
14
station.
years in charge. But
No, that's.
can
I've
he
got
cross
Keir
Jeremy
Starmer and
Vine's
his
winning line
red, white.
outside number 10?
Every paving stone.
Yeah, I'm
a
definitely.
parliamentary
Oh
seat
no,
in
I see it.
2019
There
when
they
Boris
are.
Johnson
Here's
won
Jeremy
all
Vine in the
There
virtual
it is.
studio.
a path to the door of number 10.
Soon to be in.
This time, can Labour...
Are we looking at something or just kind of joined? Discord after waking up.
We're listening to the BBC News feed, and I've got it open on the tablet.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Sorry about that. Oh, they're doing the standing thing. The thing they do, you know, where they...
Oh, here's all the newsreaders on location where they normally wouldn't be. We've had a prediction in from my friend Callum, who says that he thinks the exit poll will say 370.
Hello, I'm in Blythe, where a
3.
recount in 2019
Hold on.
stopped
One
them
second.
winning. But this time, this team is even more determined than ever.
Hold on.
Do we think?
Well, I unfortunately have no idea what's going on at BBC News, but I'll leave y'all.
Callum's saying he thinks the exit poll will say 370 to 390 Labour.
House, our teams are poised, ready.
I think
to
this is the
gather
first
and
time
then
that I've ever
verify
actually
every
watched the
single
exit
result
poll.
as they begin
Well,
to
it's
count.
exciting. It's a historic one. Nowhere to land a helicopter at the polling station? Asked East Coast Team. Apparently not.
Few moments, we can legally reveal.
Hi, Angela.
Right.
Just seen your message.
That exit poll will indicate who will be heading here.
It's all virtual studios now. Do you guys remember when it was just the swingometer and that was like the height of technology?
When was that phase though? When was that? Like,
I don't think they haven't done the swingometer for a number of years.
Could one of the smaller
I know what they're going to... This is they don't. They're just doing a giant screen. They used to be like in the Parliament properly.
Yeah.
You know, when they did the.
It's Nigel Farage eating an ice cream and still looking like a bell end.
Well, he looks like a bell end no matter what he
We're
does.
expecting a night of high
Here's
drama.
the Scottish coverage.
Using the results in Scotland to argue for or against independence. I'll be joined by the country's senior politicians, advisors, and
40 seconds to go. I better get the champagne ready. I say champagne, Prosecco. It's alcohol-free Prosecco as well.
I haven't got any.
We do know how
I'll
to
just
live.
drink this. So, we're seconds away from 10 o'clock.
Here we go.
Exit poll,
Right.
First indication of how the night might
Take the fiddly bit off.
20,000 people to
Oh no, I hate this.
Don't
bit.
worry, I'm not going to pop it yet.
Oh.
In this first July
I'm a bit
election
behind
since
Rob.
1945. 326
Here we go. 10 seconds.
needed to win.
8,
So,
7,
here we
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exit polls.
And as Big Ben strikes 10, the exit poll is
4:10.
predicting a Labour landslide.
Sir Keir Starmer will become Prime Minister with a majority of around 170 seats.
The exit poll predicts that Labour will have captured 410 seats.
Blimey.
109. It suggests the Conservatives will have lost 241
Okay, it's come through for
MPs,
me, and
landing
it is
on
a Labour landslide, as
131.
predicted.
On to the other numbers, the Liberal Democrats up 53 on 61 seats, Reform on 13 seats.
Boo!
The SNP down 38 seats, according to this exit poll, on 10. Plaid Cymru are on 4, they're up 2, and the Greens are up 1.
Oh, don't tell me he's the third.
All the pointers tonight
Oh.
are that Sir Keir Starmer is taking
Oh, he's the
Labour
fourth.
Yeah,
back
that's-
to power.
Oh,
Only the
Screw's
fifth
here.
Hello,
leader
Screw.
to
Hi,
win
Screw.
a general election. These are the first indications of what may unfold, but a moment of history beckons.
Okay.
I'm getting this bit after you, so this is weird, but Labour landslide.
Yeah. So, on that note then, it's time to pop open the Prosecco. Here we go. Oh, come on. That's it. Here we go. Hey! Let's play some music.
When I saw my baby walking,
So is that it then?
when I saw my baby walking with another man today. When I asked her what's the matter, this is what I heard her say. See you later, alligator. You wild crocodile.
See you later, alligator. Okay. A toast, ladies and gentlemen, to the twitching corpse that is the Tory government. Cheers.
Hurrah!
Ah. Tastes like victory.
Wrong. You don't have to have a clapping.
Clapping sound effect. Yeah, that would be useful, wouldn't it?
That's it.
There's a duck. There we go. There's
There
a
we
clap.
go. There we go.
This song felt
So
curiously
that's it,
appropriate.
That also works.
That works too. Where is my audio settings? Because this doesn't sound right for some reason. Hang on. What's that? There we are, voice and video, right. Can someone in the Discord server just talk for a second? I want to see if I can hear you still.
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
yeah, that's working, good. I wasn't sure for a minute there.
So, yeah, pretty much what we expected.
Yeah, pretty much.
Labour won.
So let's see some reactions in the chat room. We'll gently fade out. See you later, alligator, because that was good for the gag, but not much else. Let's see. Reform 13. Yeah, hardly the landslide they were predicting for Reform there, but still fundamentally depressing.
Annoying, but at least they didn't get more. At least the Lib Dems actually managed to phase them out.
Indeed. Tomorrow is going to be scary. Not scary, I don't think.
Tomorrow's going to be scary?
Yeah, why is tomorrow going to be scary? Tell me.
It's my birthday.
It is your birthday.
Oh, that's
Yes.
lovely.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thanks.
How old are you going to be?
17. I just don't like growing old.
Oh no! When
I
you
don't
get
think anyone does.
when you get to your mid-30s, then you'll start complaining about being old. It's all good,
Right. You've got until your mid-30s.
Exactly.
He'll be fine.
It's all good. Anyway.
Alright.
Right. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye, says little Miss Tara Bear. Screwlove voted Labour reluctantly. Yeah. I think that's true for a lot of people, isn't it? I'm rather annoyed that Jeremy Hosking, the prominent locomotive owner, funds Refail. Yeah, that's disappointing as well. Someone's setting fireworks off with me. Good job the cats are in. Oh, selfish arseholes. Hey, my favourite couple. Hello, Screw. My favourite of my favourite best man. Andrew is my best woman, so it doesn't count. It's... the best woman counts, but she's not my best man, so you'll stop explaining the joke, Matthew. Which one was mine?
That one.
That one. Okay. There's Rory. Hello, Rory.
Yeah.
Say hello to Rory, everybody.
Hello, Rory. Are you the enemy of the Daleks? Because if you
Shall I go feed him? I think
put you in
he's
Dalek jail.
Yeah,
whining for his biscuits.
I think he's getting upset because it's biscuit time and we haven't made moves towards the kitchen yet.
Oh, they're putting it on the BBC building, the side, like they did last time.
Okay, I'll get on that.
So now
So is this the largest one, then?
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, this alcohol-free prosecco is not bad. I quite like that. Right. Anyway, don't misgender me. Oh, Christ. What just fell over? What did we break?
I think Rory knocked the Dalek off.
Oh, okay.
Hello there, Rory.
Hold on. Yes, he did. 1 second. He's not the Dalek off. Honestly. Can't take that boy anywhere. Oh, well. Goodbye, wife. It was nice to have you down here briefly. Right. Yes, so now there's going to be a lot of faffing for the next few hours. But let's look at those exit poll predictions again. So Labour is predicted to have 410 seats, so it's a massive landslide. Conservatives are down to 131. Liberal Democrats 61. Reform 13. Green Party 2. SNP 10. and Plaid Cymru 4. Still all to play for, because these are not actual results, these are exit polls. They can be wildly wrong, but it is a pretty good indicator, and I think it's fairly certain that we're going to be looking at a Labour government in the next few hours.
I actually misread it, one of the seats, and thought that the SNP had won Darlington.
That would be impressive. Oh dear. Right. Let's see. What is... let's see what is next on the playlist, because I think we're gonna play another song, and then we're probably gonna wrap this section of the show up. Let's play this one. This is Jack the Ripper by Screaming Lord Sutch. Here we go, as requested by me, Tina.
There's a man walks the streets of London late at night. With a little black bag that's oh so tight. He's got a big black cloak hanging down his back. Well, that's a one big cat that just a hate to fight. Well, he walks down the street, every girl he meets says your name is Blood. When she walks down the street, he's never far behind. With his little black bag and his one-track mind. Well, he really catches up when the lights go down. Cause that's the time he starts his dirty shop around. Well, he walks down the street, every girl he meets says your name is Blood. Scotland Yard will never catch him, cause he's a much too clever. He's much too clever. But if they do, man, they'll get the leather, yes. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper, the Ripper, Jack the Ripper. With the streets of London can never safe. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. Whenever Jack the Ripper ever shows his face. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. So you pretty little girlies take my advice. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. And don't walk the streets of London late at night. The Ripper, Jack the Ripper. Well, he walks down the street, every girl he meets says your name is Blood. Jack the Ripper, the Ripper, Jack the Ripper.
YouTube's best and only, whatever the hell this is. It's Tea Time with Matt. Welcome back, everybody. It is indeed Tea Time with Matt, and you are listening to Election Night 2024, or watching Election Night 2024, because we don't do this on radio anymore. Screwed Up says, one of my friends is running to become Labour MP for Glastonbury. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm going to make a note of that. Because on my... I'll get to this in a second. Hold on. Glastonbury Screws friend. There we are.
Hard to imagine.
Right.
Wow, they... on their own.
That is leading us neatly onto this sheet of paper here, which is my list of constituencies to watch. We'll cover this more in part 2. But the basic... The basic idea of this sheet is it's a list of constituencies that are sort of strategically important or ones I want to know about, either because they're people I would dearly love to see lose their seat, or because they're strategically important in some way. There's 4 on here that are different from all of those, and those are Blyth and Ashington, Tynemouth, Newcastle upon Tyne Central and West, and Houghton and Sunderland South. These are all constituencies which are down as first to declare, ? These tend to declare early on in the evening, so we should see a result from these. If not before I come back on air for part 2, then shortly afterwards. So those are the ones to watch initially. We will cover the others as we go through the night. Before we wrap up part 1, does anyone have any final thoughts?
I'm
trying to
not
stay away from
particularly
politics
surprised.
altogether, but still, I just hope they make the right choice and the government doesn't fuck up again. Not like people ever do.
I like.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I like that. I think that is entirely reasonable. To be honest,
It's basically
It's
what we
already
expected.
a shit show this country is
Yeah.
already a shit show with the whole, in what was it? Income, what was it? Cost of living, basically.
Yeah, everything.
I think my view on it is this, and we'll
inflation. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try and keep this as uncontroversial as possible. My view on it is that Labour are not perfect. As I said in my summing up of the parties, Labour has a lot of issues.
I just realized something.
But at this point, we should really just give literally anybody else a go, because the current, the outgoing government, as we now believe them to be, has no talent, no clue, no morals, no decency. They just need to go.
Or integrity.
They just need to go. And if voting for a party that is not perfect makes that happen, it's not ideal, but I'll take it. That's my view on it. Other people may disagree, but that's where I'm at.
To be honest, whether it's Labour or Tories or Conservatives or blah blah blah, whatever you call it, they're just bad as each other, really. Just a bunch of squabbling children in a flipping Parliament room, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's
There's a minor difference.
It's an indictment of the state of our politics, I think.
I think someone said it. Best. They've become football teams at this point.
Yes!
Where politics no longer matter.
That is a beautiful analogy. I really like that. Yes, that is spot on.
Yep.
Or a bunch of squabbling school children, really.
Yeah.
I'm not taking credit for that, by the way, but I am. That is a good analogy.
No. I didn't mean to imply you had credit for that, but it is an excellent analogy. I'd like to thank you for bringing it to the table, because actually that's perfect. It's
You're welcome.
Spot
Remember,
on.
with politics, this is not a football game.
Exactly.
People's lives are genuinely changed by this stuff.
Absolutely. And I will say this. We've had fun this evening so far, and we will continue to have fun when I return in about 45 minutes' time. But let's not forget, this is serious stuff. There are people who will be looking at this result this evening and be elated by it. There are people who will be indifferent to it. And there will be a number of people who are looking at this result and are genuinely worried by it. And scared. Way to undermine the serious tone there. There will be people who are genuinely frightened by this exit poll. And I think we should just take a moment to acknowledge that fear is entirely rational. People will be impacted by the decisions we have all made today. We should not... What's the word I'm looking for here? We shouldn't belittle that. And we shouldn't belittle people who are seeing this result and feeling actively scared and uncertain and worried. Because that's perfectly natural. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I was sitting here looking at these results and going, hey, everything's going to be great now. Because it's not. The country's still in a really big mess. I think now we're going to get a party in charge that's maybe going to go some way to repairing some of that mess. I don't think they're going to do everything perfectly right. But like I say, at this point, let's try something else. Anything else. Some comments about Jeremy Corbyn. He's actually on one of my constituencies to watch list. He is running again for the constituency of Islington North, but he's standing as an independent. He's been kicked out of the Labour Party. So
that man is basically one of the only politicians in this bloody government that I only have respect for. He's the only one that I see who has common sense.
Some comments about that on here. The election is rigged because it's on the USA's birthday. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice tie, thank you. I'm happy. Screw is happy, but he would have been happier if Corbyn won with Labour. Yeah, I liked Corbyn. I did.
Same. It was not. Britain needed democratic socialism.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
People just treated him like a joke,
also,
like he was some kind of clown in the government. Yeah.
That's the media for you.
Absolutely.
Especially when they're owned by a certain amount of people who do not like those types of reforms because they lose money.
Yeah.
I won't name names, but you know who I'm talking about.
Indeed.
Also, it's weird seeing the Lib Dems being the third largest party again, but
that is nice to see. I will be honest. I'm glad the Lib Dems have done quite well in this exit poll.
That's narcissistic despots with an ego for you.
Yep.
Very true. Right. During the break, head over to the Discord server, go to the Teatime with Matt channel and print yourself a Teatime with Matt and Election Night bingo sheet. I'll explain why when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. If you are tuning out after this first part, I want to say thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you have a fantastic night and enjoy your day tomorrow. If you're sticking around for part 2,
don't forget to play the song that I sent you for the ending.
That's I will play the song you sent me in the next part. But yeah. So yeah, if you're sticking around for 11 o'clock, I'm going to paste the link for part 2 in the chat. Once I start rolling the credits, so get yourselves over there, stand by, I'll be back at 11 PM. I'm going to change out my shit suit and make a strong pot of coffee.
45 minutes.
See you 40 minutes now.
11 right now.
40 minutes now.
Right.
Oh wait, it's 20 past 10. I am
20 past 10. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. This was Teatime with Matt Selection Night 2024, Part 1. See you for Part 2 at 11 o'clock. For those of you going, take care. Love you guys. Bye!
To everything that comes an end. No use in trying to pretend this isn't where we are, my friends. We've been together all these years, so many laughs and a few tears. We always knew the road would lead us here. 'Cause it's time to say goodbye, and everybody knows the reason why. Those days are gone, we're moving on with no regrets, no need to cry. Like when you've been in power for 14 years, and it's ages since you ran out of ideas, and you just make things worse no matter what you try. Then it's time to say goodbye. All things good and bad must pass. The moment always comes at last, when you know it's time to shift yourself. Like when your capital has all been spent, there's not a rule you haven't bent, but you're polling at 17%. Then it's time to say goodbye. We don't need another year of fear and lies. This administration's bleeding out. Quit bumping, let it die. Get a proper job and off the gravy train. Stop dragging everybody down the drain, and give somebody, anybody else a try. It's time to say goodbye. Yes, it's time to say goodbye. You know your aeroplanes are never gonna fly to Rwanda, just to pander to the biggest why oh why. The time for your excuses is all gone. Go and spend some more time with your millions. You think that old lady can save you? Are you high? It's time to say goodbye.